our brains have natural THC receptors. We have a long evolutionary history with the herb. It's really sacred. I mean, it's been with us for so long. The Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper. They say the first weed plant grew on the grave of King Solomon. I mean, it's biblical. It's been with us for ancient times, And, it's both good and bad, but at least people should recognize that it's a natural thing. It comes from the earth, and people have been using it as medicine for thousands and thousands of years. People in ancient India called sadhus, I believe, they used to use this to stretch. So they would, smoke a little bit, have whatever, maybe even eat it if they didn't want to smoke it. And for hours and hours throughout the day, just hold crazy stretches. Hold a lotus for an hour, I mean, my record's like 39 minutes, but, they would hold it for hours at a time, stretches. And it can be done because it gives you that energy, it relaxes the muscles, it has the anti-inflammatory effect. But, I think people nowadays in modern times, they're going to have other issues because a lot of it's grown commercially. It has toxic chemicals sprayed on it. It's given crazy amounts of, different fertilizers and all sort of stuff that enhances it, yes, but at what cost, So my recommendation for anyone who really wants to, experience its benefits is actually grow it yourself, Take the time to learn about it, grow it yourself, give it away to your friends. Don't try and turn it into a money machine, You're just going to ask yourself for trouble, you know what I'm saying? And because it really is a sacred thing, and there are cultures in ancient history that have considered it sacred for thousands of years. And so we should give it that same respect. You can't really describe the feeling. It's just an intake of energy, You can maybe akin to if you ran a long distance, you get the runner's high. It's the same kind of feeling. It's a euphoria of some sort. And you could also hold a stretch for a really long time, and that will also do it. I know so many people who use it and for artistic purposes. They use that kush, they use that chronic, they use it for, a lot of different reasons, but mostly as plateau busting. Everyone who does art, they experience plateaus, and it can make you think in a different direction and cause you to tumble into whole different trains of thought. And you can really advance yourself with it, if used correctly. This would all have to be my personal opinion, but if you think of it as an intake of energy, what are you going to do with that energy now that it's into your body? You took a green organism, you lit it on fire, you created living air out of it, it went into your body, you have this new energy. Are you going to sit there and play video games all day? You know what I mean? Are you just going to slack off and do nothing? The best way is to use it. And so for me, and a lot of people that I know, we practice with it, we go to jams with it, we stretch for endless amounts of time with it because it does have an anti-inflammatory effect that affects the muscles and opens you up. And that's scientific fact. People use it for medicine. Definitely, you can abuse it if you're one of those people that just do it all the time or mix it with tobacco. I know a lot of people make blunts out of it. I don't like doing that. I like it straight. Just straight green, no brown. And if you don't have a cardiovascular exercise regimen, eventually weed itself will also start to affect your lungs. But I think if you exercise consistently and use it for training, it really negates a lot of the negative aspects of it, and there's only positive aspects at that point, But then again, it's not for everybody. Some people, completely don't want to have anything to do with it, and that's cool. At least by me, I'm cool with that. You don't want to have anything to do with it? Cool, don't have anything to do with it. And people that do use it correctly, because it can be very powerful and very, very helpful, when done right. It also reduces coordination to a measurement, at least in my experience. If I'm feeling I'm raised up and elevated on the energy, going to a jam and seeing all the people that are super famous or whatever just kind of gets taken down a notch. I don't care as much. I'm more of a honey badger when I'm on it. But at the same time, the reduction in coordination would cause me to not do my best moves. So it's kind of a give and take, at least from my experience. So the best for me would be coming off of it, going into a jam or going into, a competition or anything like that, at least for peak performance in front of people. So I think, especially from us, you guys want to be thinking about that kind of stuff and doing all the competition. I think it can be helpful, to certain people.